Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
Not a game. We talking about practice.
We thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Decide a different need. I'm coming. I'm flat out coming.
It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of the Sports Report podcast. Do not adjust your TV sets. I am Seven hosting this week. Will is actually not feeling good. After watching the Saints play, he became physically ill yesterday, and he's still working on recovering from that. So we definitely give him our best. He will be back with us next week. But I have, as Will would say, I have a cast of thousands with me this week. Excuse me. As we dive into what's going on in the world of sports, we're talking about the World Series. We got a lot going on in the NFL this week. And looks like Jason Kelsey also bought a Penn State kid a new phone. We're going to talk about that as well. First, I would like to introduce my KC Chiefs brother from another mother, Ando. What's up, big dog?
What's up, bro? You know I got to be here to represent tonight. With Will not being here, you got to have a successful co-cast, and that's why I'm here, ready to row the boat, as you would say. We got Sparky back here as well. Sparky got to be here to represent as well. So let's get the show on the road, man. Let's talk some sports tonight, man.
Dude, I'm looking forward to it. It's a good game going on right now. Monday Night Football, Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Kansas City Chiefs. Last I knew it was still 14-10. Let me go ahead and bring in our resident Dodgers fan. Before anybody asks, no, she did not buy her way onto the show, but it's just because I keep forgetting to send her the bill. Erica, what's up tonight?
Not buying to win championships, but
Only the highest payroll in Major League Baseball.
I mean, I'm actually pretty sure the Yankees and the Mets are actually higher than us.
Top three, who cares?
Yeah, they were in the top three. It was Mets, Yankees, and Dodgers.
So we didn't pay to win the championship 100%, but we got that win. We got it. No choking happened. We got that win. Let's go.
For every argument that the Dodgers spending money got them that championship, there's the argument that spending money doesn't get you a championship, thanks to the New York Mets. Coming in,
Yankees, New York Mets, and New York Yankees,
and the New York Yankees.
Oh, I say
At
and
least
the
the Yankees made it. I mean,
Yeah.
at least
I think you said it best though, because I think the Yankees were playing as the Dodgers on Halloween, and they just wanted that shade of blue to choke. That's what happened.
Oh my god, man! Last time I saw that much choking, I was looking on Pornhub. Next, coming up finally here today to round out the group, our resident Vikings fan got a big smile on his face. John, what's up, man?
Them fuckers gave me a heart attack last night. They say I had to go to sleep, man, just so they could start winning. Because every time I watch, my heart sits on the other side of my pillow.
Yep, dude, that first half of the Vikings
They
game,
get on my nerves.
that first half of the Vikings game was some of the worst football I've ever seen. Like, I turned off football and turned on my Switch because I was that bored of Sunday Night Football. And usually Sunday Night Football I can put up with in some way, shape, or form. But it's just, yeah, like
I
that.
think we were going to go out there and take over the game. We'd
But I
get
mean,
back to it. We lost 2 close games, one on some bullshit.
some non-called bullshit.
Yep.
The same thing happened yesterday. They got up, man.
Yeah.
He 4 on the right in the helmet. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I promise you, if that was Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or somebody, they would have got that call.
It's because Sam Darnold is a ginger, and they want gingers to not play football. That's got to be the answer.
He's Andy Dalton's younger brother. They both have 14.
Yep.
And by the way, Pornhub is blocked where I'm from, so we can't use it.
Use my address. Say it's in Iowa, bro. There's some worthy stuff on that site. I
don't need it. I got Twitter.
Okay.
You know what? Elon Musk got something right. Like, say what you will about who he supports politically.
It was on there before he bought it, but
Yeah. I mean, but he left it there. Like, I mean, that's oh man.
Do you think when he was going through and changing the name from Twitter to X, like that whole avenue of the internet was the reason why he kept the single X in there? He's like, people will find it. I just might as well make it easier and just there we go.
Is that what you was Sparky what?
Man,
Elon Musk business.
Sparky ain't talking tonight. Sparky ain't talking tonight.
I thought you said
My bad.
Sparky's been good. I thought
Sparky's been good, but to keep him behaved, he's got to keep his mouth quiet. Like,
but we want to hear from Sparky, not you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. You're just the caveat to you're the caveat to Sparky and to your twin brother. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the world of baseball. Let's talk about the World Series. I know Erica and I got a bunch to say. I'm sure John and Ando have some thoughts too. So let's dive into this.
I actually watched.
I want to be the best.
Like, wow. Okay, I will get into it.
I want to be the best in the game. Invest in my name. Check no restraints. I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain. Assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints.
Man, I feel like that intro gives me a lot more street cred than I actually have, but I fucking love it. Okay, so as we talk about the World Series, obviously, for those of you that haven't seen, the Los Angeles Dodgers have won the World Series, beating the Yankees in 5 games. And there were some interesting topics to come out of this game, but we're going to start with just kind of a quick review. When we met last week, it was 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Quite simply, Game 3, Dodgers won. We're going to start in Game 4 because this is where the series actually got interesting. We saw the Yankees get the win, 11-4. We thought we had seen the awakening of Aaron Judge. He got walked twice in that game. He did get a hit. He got walked once in that game. He did get a hit. Didn't strike out at all in Game 4. So we think we're starting to see it. We're also starting to actually recognize the lack of hitting that the Dodgers had shown throughout the World Series. And it was really just a couple of guys like Freddie and Teoscar Hernandez that were really keeping the Dodgers ahead of the Yankees. So, Erica, I'm going to give you this one as we talk about Game 4. How are you feeling as a Dodgers fan after that game?
I mean, I feel like Game 4, we could have done way better the way we were playing. We were on fire. We were playing clean baseball. Like, you couldn't have asked for a better Dodgers team to be out there playing in all reality. So to see all of a sudden in Game 4 just to kind of go cold, I guess you could say, like, if we didn't really go cold, but like everybody but Freeman and Hernandez, Teoscar, like everybody went cold. So like it was kind of sad. And then, I mean, kind of got another gut kick, I guess, because Game 4 is where Shohei went down with his shoulder. I'm pretty sure, right? Was it 4?
Game 2. He got injured in Game 2.
That was Game 2 where Shohei went down. Yeah.
Okay. Well, like, still at that point, you could still see with Shohei that like he wasn't 100%. There was no need, in my opinion, and full-fledged Dodger fan. There's no reason that Show was in. He should have been out. He should have been resting. He should have been sitting. There was no need for it. He was clearly still in pain.
That was a lot. That was kind of the biggest decision I questioned of Dave Roberts that Dave Roberts made in the series was why leave Shohei in the lineup when he's in so much pain. He dislocated his shoulder and still played in the World Series. But here's the thing that frustrates me. He's a DH. That is literally the easiest position to fill on the roster. You take your best hitter that's not in the field. Guess what, bro? Like, that's what I don't get. And John, I'll ask you, you said you watched some highlights. Did you watch like for each game or the whole series? What did you watch? So
I watched the final game.
You watched the
highlights.
All right. That's where we get to go.
What I will say,
go ahead.
What I will say is game 2, you have the lead that you do, and Shohei got hurt in the bottom of the 7th or bottom of the 8th. Why the hell are you? Yeah. Why are you stealing at the bottom of the 7th with the lead that you have?
And not only that, we got 2 outs. Why are you even going to risk that shit? That was a horrible
There was
call.
no reason to risk it. Now,
horrible call.
That being said, is Shohei with one shoulder still a better hitter than whoever the Dodgers had? That's the only reason that I can think of Dave Roberts keeping Shohei in. At least it's that, hey, we may not have a better hitter, but if we have Shohei there, maybe that will scare them into putting Shohei on base, and then we get a pinch runner to come in, especially in the later innings. That's the only thing really that I could think of, and that being the only reason that they would have kept Shohei in. Because Shohei, the rest of the series only got on base twice in those last 3 games?
Yep.
Yeah, because every time he went up to bat, Ando, he was wincing in pain.
Yep. Exactly. Every time there was a swing, you had to step away and be like,
yeah.
But
well, and here's the thing. Chris Taylor got used as a pinch hitter multiple times during the series before and after Shohei got injured. Chris Taylor has speed. He's played the game for a long time. I love Chris Taylor, one of my favorite bench bats in the game because I love when he was a starter. He's a very talented, athletic individual in his prime.
He is.
Why are you not putting Shohei? Why are you not telling Shohei to sit down and be there for moral support? Kind of like Kershaw. Hey guys, you have a chance since I'm not on the fucking mound.
Oh
no, I don't care. Fuck Clayton Kershaw.
Dang. Okay.
no. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus.
Listen,
that's another episode for another time.
There's such a fucking hate towards him though because of what happened with Arizona. But like, I'm sorry, I love Kershaw. I can't say that. So, fuck you, Tony.
No, I'm sorry. I see it how I see it. That guy has fucked the Dodgers out of more championships than racist white guys in Brooklyn before Jackie Robinson came up.
Yo.
No, I
was wondering where this was going. That's where it is. When he said Brooklyn, I was completely lost. I'm like, all right, cool. Where's this going?
It's a Brooklyn Dodgers throwback. Like, I think it works. Most like if you don't think about it too much. No, like seriously, like Clayton Kershaw is Clayton Kershaw should be World Series MVP of the Dodgers because he didn't pitch. That was the most clutch thing that Clayton Kershaw could contribute.
So you're saying if he did pitch, they would have lost?
Absolutely. She knows they lost. Look me in the eye through the camera and tell me the Dodgers win if Clayton Kershaw's on the fucking mound. Come on.
I do think that they would have at least won a game with Kershaw still in. It may not have been a perfect game, but I do think they would have won a game if Kersh would have pitched.
You're lying through your fucking teeth, and you.
No, I'm not.
Anyway, okay, so
I'm looking you in the eye through the camera.
I don't believe you. Anyway, okay, so now we go to game 5. This game is going to be argued about in baseball history for a long
time. There is no arguing. There is no arguing.
No, there is
up until the top of the 5th. Until the top of the 5th. Top of the 5th, the Yankees had a perfect game plan. Right? The Yankees were playing they gave up one hit. I don't even think there was a hit they gave up. I think it was an error that they gave up in the 3rd. But they gave up no base hits or one runner, and that is it.
Garrett Cole was throwing a fucking gem through the first 5 innings of until the bottom of the 5th inning. That first
top of the 5th. It was the top of the 5th because the Dodgers were at Yankee Stadium, so it was top of the 5th. Judge fucked up
yep,
that
you're right, my
catch.
bad.
Judge kept, and Judge fucking up that catch. Sure, get it out of your mind. That's fine. But it's a snowball effect. And that's what I love about baseball is all it takes is one spark. Yep. That is it. One mistake, one error when I'm not mentally in the game. And it screws up the proportions for everybody else in the game. Yep. The one play I will say the Yankees screwed themselves out of, right? As much as many people want to go, oh, it's Judge's fault for not catching the ball. Fine. My big pet peeve in that is Cole not covering first.
Okay, that's what I want to talk about.
Okay.
John, I'm assuming you said you watched highlights. Did you see the fifth inning? You understand what we're talking about, right? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, because Judge made a good catch, and then he did miss one out there. So.
Yep.
And then talk about the Mookie Betts hit where first was left uncovered. I'm going to say it like that. So we.
Yeah, I did see that error. Oh my gosh, I was like, who's?
Well, is it an error or is it a base hit? I mean, it classified it was a hit for bats, and I think
that
that's
was an absolute fucking error,
dude.
Dude, I don't keep up with baseball like that, but I'm smart enough to know somebody else is supposed to get on first base.
I'm going to argue
that when you first start, when you're starting as a pitcher, you are taught that in fucking Pee-wee. I guarantee it.
Agreed.
God, that how much I know.
But with that being said, because there is no play, I think it should have been awarded a hit. They ruled it as an error, but it should have been a hit, in my opinion, because the way that you can say that it is an error is they forced a play and it didn't go through. But they couldn't force a play if there was nobody there at first.
No, so here's the reason.
An error on pitcher.
Well, but here's the thing. Is there is also argument on Rizzo, because if you look at, and I saw this today, and this is where I come back to, because my instincts, my first position is I believe that Cole should have covered first.
Absolutely.
And that's where I stand. However, there was another diagram that I saw today. Rizzo was less than 10 feet from the bag. Cole was not close enough to beat out Mookie Betts because Mookie.
And he's not going to. Not with the way Mookie moves.
No, Mookie is super quick.
Soon as Mookie saw that nobody was there at first, like he put that fifth gear on and just bolted.
He's got the speed to play shortstop, and he does well in the outfield for a reason. He's got elite quickness. It's one of the reasons he's my favorite baseball player.
And he used to play for the Red Sox too.
Everybody mark those words. Seven said that one of his favorite players is on the Dodgers team right now.
Nope,
everyone
who on the Red Sox. You can go fuck yourself. He's still on the Red Sox. You guys just have him on loan because we can't afford him.
That means you don't own him.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Yeah, that's like saying the Bears own Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are just financing for him.
The Bears own Patrick Mahomes. The Bears own Patrick Mahomes, but they sent him to the Chiefs for coaching.
Yeah,
hey, you know what? I figured something out. Are you ready for this, Seven?
Oh shit.
Are you ready, Seven?
I don't think we are, but say it anyway.
We ready.
In my opinion, I feel like the Chiefs are the Los Angeles Dodgers of football.
You can't because they don't choke.
Nope, not gonna do it. She's
they
going
don't
to timeout.
He took her.
The only thing I can say in that argument is that the Chiefs don't choke. I'm
gonna leave you in. Your mic is muted until you're done with timeout. There's going to be a lot of debate about that inning because of that one play. Some people saying that Rizzo could have made it to the bag. Some people saying it should have been an error for Rizzo or for the pitcher. Cole making the bag, whatever. The Yankees fucking imploded.
Yep.
That's the end all be all of it. The Yankees fucking imploded in the fifth inning. And no, put your hand down. You're not talking. And then we get to the rest of the game because it was, game 5, it was a score of 7-6. It was close. And the Yankees actually, so it was tied after 5.
They came out swinging though.
They did. The
Yankees came out swinging.
Yeah, like for whatever reason, that
early
game, the Yankees had a spark.
I'm gonna unmute you, but if you say dumb shit like that again, I'm gonna mute your ass. We don't spray hate speech on this channel. We are a very
Say some more dumb shit.
Listen, you know
I'm
what?
here for it.
Watching that 5th inning, it literally took it took a New York minute for that shit to crumble. That's all it took.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Because what? Even after the 6th, when the Yankees were up 6-5, there was that tension after that 5th inning was the Yankees are going to find a way to blow it.
They had already blown it.
Yeah.
I mean, watching that, like, of course, you would go on YouTube and you watch the highlights of anything. They tell you who won.
Yeah.
But me watching like the first 4 innings through the highlights, I'm like, ain't no way in hell they won.
No.
This don't happen like that in baseball, especially in a championship game.
No.
And sure enough, they shit the bed.
Yep.
And that's
shit the bed. Let's be honest here. That was the Yanks game. The Yanks had that. We were
They
going
came
back
out
to
and
LA.
owned it.
We were
Yeah.
going back to LA. Let's be honest. Like,
Hold on.
Dodgers fan.
Erica, your cat just nodded with you and said, yeah. Like, as soon as you said the Yankees screwed it, the cat was like, yeah.
But the thing for me with this game is once the Yankees had that, once it was tied, you could completely tell. Like, I could sense the way that the air felt in that stadium through the TV, and you could sense that it was just like waiting for that other shoe to drop. And then the Yankees score in the bottom of the 6th, and like you noticed a change, but it was just one of those things where you were just like, this isn't it. Like, you just knew it wasn't over. And then you get to the top of the 8th, and you have and you have this 2-run inning that ends up being the final piece. The Yankees kept trying to get back into it. I think, like, even if I remember correctly, it came down to it in the bottom of the 9th. Like, they had runners in scoring position at one point in the bottom of the 9th inning, but they couldn't close. And there was a thing that came out this week, a scouting report about the Yankees that the Dodgers had that talked about the Yankees' failures as far as base running and defensive fundamentals. Yeah. And those
to correct you, Seven, the 9th inning, they did not get a runner on base. Volpe grounded out to 3rd for the first out. Wells struck out swinging, and then Verdugo struck out swinging.
Maybe it was
it was the 8th inning, because they had in the 8th inning, Soto grounded out the first, Judge doubled to left, and then they walked Chisholm. Stanton flew out to right, and then Rizzo struck out swinging in the bottom of the 8th. Okay. So they had a hit and walk in that 8th.
That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. So but the scouting report on the Yankees lacking fundamentals, and the Yankees lacking the ability to properly run the bases. Those were the 2 biggest flaws that the Yankees had during the World Series. You know, the postseason will always out your weaknesses. You see it in any sport. That's not even just a baseball. You know, it's not a baseball thing. It's any sport. The postseason will make
see who's soft and who ain't.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's more fundamentals or more discipline, even more than fundamentals, because everybody's taught the fundamentals. It's the discipline of being able to do your job. And the Yankees, after that 5th inning, they just didn't have the discipline to do their job. They could not, for whatever reason, get out of their own way after that 5th inning.
They got too excited, man. They had to. All them home runs, they were just hitting back to back to back. Like, they got too excited. They had to.
Yeah.
They got too complacent. You know, just because you're up 25-14 in an NFL game doesn't mean you get to cruise, because yes, that's a 2-score game, but I've seen two score games flip in a minute, literally less than 60 seconds of game time.
Yeah, this ain't the 90s no more.
Right.
That ship has sailed. A comeback it can happen in 2 minutes.
Game one of
any game.
By the way, Tampa Bay 17, KC 10.
Okay.
Yep, but Kansas City has it 3rd and goal to Tampa Bay 7 with 14:21 in the 4th.
Okay. But no, it's the Yankees. The Yankees couldn't get out of their own way. I think that's the ultimate thing. Now the issue for the Yankees is You prove that you guys have some of the talent to make it. But you have Aaron Judge, who throughout his postseason career, and I looked up these numbers because I wanted to see exactly what it was. Throughout 58 games in his professional career, he is hitting 205 in the postseason.
What's his regular season? You know,
his regular season's north of 300.
I figured it had to be.
It is. I'm pretty sure it is. Let me tell you what. Let me look.
I was like, that's pretty damn low.
It was sad to pretty much see Aaron Judge just like choke.
And that's the thing is
he went so cold.
His batting average for this season was 322.
Sheesh.
And he just went cold.
Like I mean,
it dropped down. Yeah, no.
And that's the thing. Is
so does he?
Oh,
did he choke?
shit.
Did he choke like Pornhub?
Kansas City just scored a touchdown. Mahomes threw a 7-yard pass to Samaje Perine. However, it does look like Patrick Mahomes is hurt.
Yeah, he's laying on the table. They're not taking him into the tent. Is it his ankle or his knee? He has knee issues. So.
Yeah.
But no,
I don't know. This is coming from ESPN. I don't actually have the game showing up. My bunny ears decided to be, what is the sub Pornhub related website I can use that sucks? My bunny ears are being that today.
X videos.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh man.
XNXX.com.
Eric, you don't know none of these websites, huh?
No, I'm a good boy. I don't do any of that.
I said Erica.
Why does she do porn? She just looks down and sees boobs. We have to go on the internet for it. She just gets to go, boobs. Like
that's true. That's true.
I can just sit at home and fondle, and I'm great. So
seven. This is Erica. Nice.
Yes, it is. I do. There's times I'll just sit there and I'm just like, they're nice today.
That's nice. That's great.
I have a good titty day. It's kind of nice.
Exactly.
Back to baseball.
I didn't even need a push-up bra and they look great. Awesome.
Back to baseball. Anybody got a argument or is anybody upset that Freeman got MVP?
No.
Oh, he deserved
absolutely not.
that.
He deserved everything he got.
Absolutely.
Man. All he been through, man, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like with what he's and like with what John said, what he's been through, with his son and his son's health issues this year. And if you go on the internet, you can see stuff with him and his son, like not through just his time with the Dodgers, but back when he was in Atlanta. He's a great dad and he loves his kids. And to see him and his wife have to go through that and for him to still pull this out and him to literally carry the Dodgers through the postseason.
Well, and my understanding, he, on top of having a messed up ankle, he also had like a dislocated rib or something like that.
Yeah.
I think
he had a rib injury during the World Series.
This dude was like powering through. He deserved that through and through. And through. That was 110% Freddie's. There was nobody else deserved that besides him.
Back to Aaron Judge real quick, because I know you guys were asking. This season, during the 2024 regular season, based off of the Yankees batting stats from ESPN, Aaron Judge had a batting average of 322 during the regular season, OBP of 458, and his slugging percentage was 701.
Yeah.
So significantly better in the regular
the
season, both getting on base and hitting the baseball just in general.
He was close to the Triple Crown. And for him to be close to the Triple Crown, he's likely the MVP. I'm sure that announcement's coming this week or next. For him to not just come up small in the postseason this year. This isn't a just this year thing, because in
2019.
So hold on. In 2017, he hit 188. 2018 was his best year. He had 421. Everything else, 265, 133, 250, 139, and then 184 this year. That is, and the benefit of the 2018 season is that was only 5 games. When he went 421, that was across 5 games. If we take out
they
that
lost to Houston in that series, right?
Yep. If you take out that season, Aaron Judge is sub 200 in the postseason, but is one of the highest paid players in the game.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
In the biggest or second
on the biggest stage.
Biggest stage.
The biggest stage. New York Yankees. That's one of the biggest sports brands in the world. That's not just
I would
Mhm.
argue the biggest brand. I would argue the biggest
too.
brand.
The hardest thing about that is where it competes is depending on the source, the Cowboys and Man United. In Man United, the English Premier Soccer team.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
familiar with both. I would argue in the US, Dallas
US,
maybe, and maybe I would say the Lakers and the Cowboys can compete, but
No.
you say anybody in baseball, I think everybody's going to go Yankees and Red Sox is 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Despite the
It just depends on where you're from. Because
True.
most people down here where I'm at, I mean, all we got is Braves until you get to Florida. So,
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And then you got the horrible Marlins, and then the Rays who don't have a home this year because of the hurricanes.
shit.
That's gonna be an interesting thing to see what happens with the Rays and what they do. What would be really funny, you know what the Rays
Oakland?
could do? Go
Oakland?
play for a couple of
Yep.
years.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Oh shit. The city would wrap them up and and they would probably for a time make more money than they made in Tampa Bay.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because, man,
As a middle finger to the Athletics going, like, yeah, screw you. This is what a real baseball team looks like. Let's support a real baseball team.
Well, I mean, the Rays are consistently a good team.
They are.
That's the thing is that the Rays are the best at Moneyball, something that the A's organization created. The Rays are the best at it. They have 100-win seasons with names you've never freaking heard of.
Mm-hmm.
I have a huge amount of respect for the Rays. We have to face them fucking 16 times a year, and to see the success that they get without spending money, like it's maddening. Because Boston, we actually spend money on a guy like Chris Sale. Who,
Sorry, now that I know the backstory, I can laugh about that.
So,
like I told you yesterday, it was
John,
personal, Lando.
John, I don't know how much you know about my hatred for Chris Sale, so please forgive what is about to come out of my mouth. But fuck you, Chris Sale. You spent 4 fucking years on the Red Sox, injured and sucking money from John Henry's dick. And then you go to Atlanta and you win a fucking Gold Glove, a Cy Young caliber season. Go fuck yourself, Chris Sale. Go fuck yourself. Okay, now that I've got that out of my system.
But they couldn't even beat the Mets, bro.
Like, and that's a better.
That's just icing on the cake, bro.
If they had their pitching, because their Atlanta's injury this year was pitching. Atlanta's issue this year was pitching injuries. If Spencer Strider and Scherzer, wasn't it? It was Strider and Scherzer that both went down. Or was it Max Fried? Max Fried. Spencer Strider.
It was Max Fried.
If those two don't get injured, it's the Braves and the Dodgers in the NLCS, and I will stand on that. Because there's
I'll
believe it.
There's so much talent on the field. Who wins it? That's a toss-up. It depends on which version of the Dodgers. If we get the version of the Dodgers that we just watched, I could see the Dodgers taking it. But if we get the Dodgers that we've seen in the past,
Braves.
then I got to go with the Braves.
Now, I will ask this. Maybe the last baseball question we ask.
Yeah.
Is this going to be the Dodgers moving forward, or can we expect the choke artists to come back? I think the Dodgers have turned a page. I think they will be a formidable baseball team moving forward now that they know that they have the pieces to win it all.
They got the monkey off their back, I think.
Yep.
They did.
And that because you're it's just like I think the Lakers are going to face this until they win until they win another championship.
See, it reminds me a lot of like the Houston Rockets in 93, 94, and then 94, 95, because it's a team that was labeled as the choke Rockets until they finally beat the Knicks in that 7-game series. Then after they beat the Knicks and went back. So
I love my Rockets, but
right.
We all know they won because Jordan retired. Jordan, look how many. I ain't gonna get too far into that, but Jordan kept a whole lot of superstars from getting rings. Superstars.
Being from Washington State, I would have loved to have seen Gary Payton get a ring. Maybe not necessarily Sean Kemp, but definitely Gary Payton. And then
what's wrong with Sean Kemp?
And that I didn't like him, man. I just didn't like Sean Kemp.
Rain Man.
And then as I've grown to not just like the Bulls, but enjoy basketball in general, all together, I wish Carl and John would have gotten a ring with Utah.
That's fair. Yeah. I get it, but at the same time, like, I don't want. God dang it. What I don't want is because with the Lakers, until they win another championship, it's always going to be the bubble championship.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be that criticism.
And then the in-season tournament win that they got too is like an official championship, which should not be an official.
They had to give them something.
Yeah,
they weren't going to win the championship. So.
I don't understand the in-season tournament. Like,
no, I don't either.
At the same time, like, it's to drive ratings and to get these guys to compete. But
yeah,
I mean, it's cool. They changed the court design. That's cool. But what else?
But man, do you see how hard those guys played against each other just for that in-season tournament? Why does it have to be something like that for them to play like that?
Because they're athletes. You have to put a carrot in front of them, and they're like, oh, okay. Because like think about the effort in NFL preseason versus week 1. Just preseason.
You're not wrong.
1. Yeah,
it means something, and that's.
But I mean, man, we used to watch basketball, and they go at it every night.
Yeah, there was
every night, man, up until like 2008 or 9 or so.
Yeah.
They went at it.
That up to like 2011, there was no such thing as load man. Like this whole load management bullshit pisses me off because you got people who are paying hard-earned money to go see their favorite players, and I'm gonna go watch the Chicago Bulls. I want to see them win a game. But Zach LaVine and Nikolai Vujovic is we need to rest. We need to. I ain't going to pay to see Ao Damasui or however you say his name. I want to see the guys that are putting up points to make money. Yes. Could you imagine Jordan doing that? Like Jordan just be like, "Nah, Pip, so you got this. I'm taking the day off."
But here's the thing.
Nope.
Here's why I disagree with that. I get it, but at the same time. They have to be reasonable with it. And I get there being rules around it. I don't know what that looks like, but look at this in baseball terms. If we had Clayton Kershaw pitching for the Dodgers every night, he would blow out his arm in 6 weeks. If Shohei Ohtani,
Erica would have to get a new bow. She'd have to get a new bow because Kershaw wouldn't be it.
This isn't even a dig at Kershaw. This is a fact. If you expect a guy to
throw, not even my bow on the Dodgers, so fuck you, Ando.
No, that's Trevor Bauer. She likes a guy that gets rough. Anyway, like you don't expect certain players that have a high value.
You supposed to fire back. Don't take that shit.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting until I've asked about my
opinion. I was about to say, I thought you was better than that. Now I thought you was better.
John, it's all good, right? You see the shade that Sparky is? That's the shade Erica is going to enjoy when we get off camera because that's how rough she likes it. So
she doesn't
tell her, Sparky.
Tell her, Sparky.
She doesn't want to know what the safe
word
is.
Tell Sparky got a new hat.
Not worried about it.
There is no such thing as a safe word. What are you talking about?
Mine's pineapple.
No, it's not pineapple.
Mine's pineapple.
That's for it's got to be meatloaf.
Wait, what's pineapple?
That's Ando's safe word with Sparky.
No, that's not a safe word for Ando.
And
why not?
The appropriate safe word is meatloaf because I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Hey, meatloaf's a good time.
But no, it's the song, musician.
Yeah.
It's a white person thing.
First off, if you haven't seen Black Dog, Black Dog is a movie with Meatloaf and Patrick Swayze, and then listen to the song "I Won't Do That" by Meatloaf, and you'll understand Meatloaf's contribution to society.
Oh, okay.
One fucking song.
I know what Meatloaf has contributed to my life. It's been great.
Well, no, I guess it's fair to say that he contributed to. He contributed in Fight Club too. So,
okay,
John, you should go listen to the song, okay, and you would understand.
What's the name of the song?
I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Oh, I know that song. Yeah.
Okay, so John, I need your help to settle about with me on Meatloaf because I'm sick of people that do this. Do you put ketchup on your meatloaf?
Ew.
Barbecue sauce.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you. Barbecue sauce and a little bit of mustard to give it a little heat.
Ew.
No, you cook it with mustard. And
Yeah.
Like,
And then I put
but
mustard on the side to give it a little bit more spice.
I don't do John don't do mustard.
No.
Okay.
You could do it like
I put barbecue
Yeah.
sauce. Barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
I keep barbecue sauce in my lunch bag
Nice.
just because I never know what's gonna happen.
You never know.
Little Smokies may show up and you need some barbecue sauce.
I may go buy some food somewhere and just be like,
meatballs?
damn, these assholes forgot my barbecue sauce.
Meatballs? Gotta have barbecue sauce.
There you go. Now you're talking, brother.
Right?
Now you're talking. Yeah. Oh yeah.
My grandmother hated the sight of ketchup in her fridge at all. Wasn't allowed in her house. And my grandma did a lot of the cooking. But so when she made meatloaf, she would do different shit. Like sometimes we do barbecue sauce. Sometimes she would do like the cheese, like Campbell's cheese soup.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do that around it, or cream of mushroom was another one that she would do.
Cream of mushroom soup
on meatloaf is fire.
Mm.
But like I don't understand. People are like, oh, ketchup, because it's sweet. No, it tastes like ass. Like,
dude, my dad figured out a way to grill a meatloaf.
Oh, it's so good.
It's fucking amazing, especially with barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Does he wrap it in bacon?
Huh?
Does he wrap it in bacon before he grills it? Because I saw
bacon weave.
Meatloaf wrapped in a bacon weave, bro.
He wraps it and he puts it right on the grill with the pan that you can buy at the dollar store with the holes in the bottom.
Yeah.
And it cooks the whole entire way.
Yeah. Dude, so God. We're going to John's for a picnic, y'all.
Like my dad puts anything on the grill. He will put bologna on the fucking grill, bro. Like he does not care, dog. Like for real.
Have you had grilled bologna, bro?
It's amazeballs. balls.
Yeah.
I love, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when you go get it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. Man, I can talk about food now. I know I'm skinny, but I can talk about it.
We can put away food, right? This whole panel can put away food.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm fat. I love food.
I got the meat baby right here, y'all. What you about?
Don't ever say that.
Yeah, don't say that word again, ever, bro. Golly.
No.
Whoa, and crazy.
That's extremely
you
aggressive.
Got Sparky excited.
My HR department is going to call me because of you saying that sentence.
Give him my number. Give him my number, 7. You have it.
Okay. So let's go ahead and pivot over into the NFL. Got a lot to talk about in the huddle. We got a Monday night football game going on right now. Looks like the Chiefs are threatening to score again. And we're going to talk about the entire slate of NFL games. Let's get started. Actually, really quick before I forget, we are going to take a really quick breather. I've got to run a couple of ads. Don't go nowhere.
National Streaming Sports is brought to you in part by BetUs.com, designed for true fans. NFL odds, Week 1 and futures, college football odds, including Heisman Trophy favorites and playoff odds, NBA odds of division winners and playoffs, Major League Baseball playoff and World Series odds, the National Hockey League Conference playoffs and Stanley Cup odds, and boxing wagers. Betting opportunities include versus the spreads and outright winners, also during the game. Use our link on our website, nessp.info, the Bet Us Opportunities webpage, for a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. Must be 21 years old, and remember, bet responsibly.
Football season is here, and SeatGeek is my go-to for buying tickets. Now with SeatGeek, every single ticket is backed with their buyer guarantee. We've all had plans change, and when you can't make it to the big game, SeatGeek has you covered. They're the only ticketer that allows you to return your tickets ahead of the event for credit with SeatGeek swaps. So when things come up, I know that my tickets won't go to waste. So what are you waiting for? Download the SeatGeek app to maximize your possibilities and shop live events with confidence.
All right. Thank you for coming back. I'm bringing everybody back in. Erica had to step away real quick. a very interesting week in the NFL. As we're starting to get to that point of the year where we're starting to see who's real and who was just on some bullshit. I kind of feel like it would be best to just kind of rip through this and run from the top of the slate. Where did that go? Okay. Thursday night football. The Jets almost lost to the Texans, but it ended up being 21-13. Garrett Wilson has his best game of the year. And what is probably going to be one of the catches of the year. I still don't know that was a catch from what I've seen. I didn't see enough to think that was a catch. What did you think, John?
I ain't sure either.
You're talking about that one-handed one when he came down with it like this. I don't think I saw enough to argue it. Because remember, it's got to be indisputable. It's got to be indisputable for it to be reversed.
That's where I'm at with it, Endo. Like if they don't, they called it a catch, then you can't turn it over.
And that's the thing.
I get what you're saying, though, Seven. Like it's probably wasn't a catch, and it shouldn't have been called a catch in the beginning.
Yeah,
but
if they would have called it like an incomplete pass to begin with, and then not change. I mean, it can go either way. It's one of those bang bang kind of catch plays. I think in real time, I think I got the I mean, it's a hell of an effort either way.
It's and I argue this as somebody that has Garrett Wilson in fantasy. I got my ass handed to me in fantasy this week. My guy scored 191 points. The guy that I was playing had 191 points. Like I got my ass whipped. He had Alvin Kamara. I don't even know. Like it's like everybody he had scored 30 points, and I'm like, you dick.
Perfect time to do it when he's playing you, right?
Right, exactly. Like, why not? Go for it.
While we're talking about football, Chiefs just scored a touchdown, 8-yard pass from Mahomes to Hopkins, makes it 24-17
that's
with
the second touchdown already.
Yep,
he hadn't had a touchdown all year.
Yep, and he has not. That is Mahomes' third touchdown pass and his first game this season without an interception so far. So about time.
Now that you said something, he's gonna throw a pick somehow before the
better
end
not. Look, if the
I'm gonna
Chiefs
stack that hairline back farther. If you curse him, he somehow throws a pick.
I will shave my head. I will shave my head next week if Mahomes throws an interception.
Anyway, we'll get.
I believe you, Ando.
What's that?
I said I believe you.
Yeah, if Mahomes throws an interception, I will shave my head.
Is everybody ready to realize that Aaron Rodgers should have just retired? Like, can we be done with this? Does this have to be a spectacle?
I'm sorry. Are we doing a recap conversation of last week when you and I both said that? Because you corrected me last week when I said that it was his game that needed to retire, and you said his ego that needs to retire.
Yeah,
because his body retired 3 years ago. But no, I absolutely agree. It's about time. I honestly believe this will be his last season, regardless of what his contract says. The Jets are one of about 10 teams that do not have a shot for the playoffs. I don't give a shit what their record says. The Jets and the Cowboys are two of the teams that do not have a shot for the playoffs.
The Jets.
Did Dakota get hurt?
Yeah, we'll talk about that with that with Atlanta.
Actually, let's wait. No, that was the Sunday night game. Okay, let's go through some of the earlier slate first. Because that was the the Cowboys.
We can talk about that one next because that was one of the early games. Atlanta and Dallas.
Yeah. Dak. He hurt his hand in that game.
Nope. So the official injury, he did get a swollen hand, but the injury that took him off the field was a hamstring, and it was announced via ESPN today that Dak is expected to miss at least 2, if not 3 games with the hamstring injury that he has. Early indication.
Okay, it was a hamstring. I didn't see that.
My bad. I take back the hub comment.
Yeah, what bothers me the most, there are 2 things that bother me with this. The first things first is Jerry Jones coming right after the game and saying, hey guys, we're disappointed with the way that the team's playing. We know that this isn't the way that our team plays. As a fan base, you should be very disappointed. Jerry.
You know what he should have said?
You're the one who set the team up.
Yep.
It is not the team failing. It is you as an owner failing to not put the right pieces together. You had the opportunity to go after D-Hop. You didn't do it. You had the opportunity to go after Derrick Henry. You didn't do that.
Nope.
You stood
He went back and got Zeke. Of all
believing
people.
that a $60 million quarterback in Dak Prescott and a $50 million receiver in CeeDee Lamb is going to get you everything that you need. You're losing your offensive line. Zach Martin is not as young as he used to be. That line cannot protect. That line cannot run block. You are last place rushing the football. Carolina is rushing the ball better than you are, Jerry.
Chuba.
And you're going to sit there and say, oh, give us time. If Will was here, Will would say, Jerry Jones is old enough to look past the results.
That's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did.
He was like, we're a good team. We don't worry about results.
The problem that the Cowboys
We
have
look
now,
past
their next 3 games are going to be against playoff teams because they play Philadelphia next week. I don't know if they're going to win the division, but they are a playoff-based team. They play Houston, who, yes, they got throttled by the Jets, and their last 2 games. Well, yeah, technically their last 3 because they lost to the Packers, then looked like shit against the Colts, and then lost to the Jets. They're not playing as well as they have.
Diggs went down. So.
But that team is still going to win the division unless Jacksonville or Indianapolis gets their head out of their ass. I would prefer Jacksonville get their head out of their ass, but that's another topic.
They should, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe they need new coach.
And then you got to go to Washington to play the Commanders, which the defense is going to run all over. Defense is going to run over down. So you're going to go into your Thanksgiving Day game against the Giants at 3-8. You're going to tell me you're going to win the next 6 games when you still have to play the Eagles and the Commanders. You don't play an easy team like the Giants except for that one. The season's over. I think within the next 24 hours, if they're not already working on it, sell some pieces you think are worth it, get some draft picks, and focus on next year. Fucking fire Mike McCarthy.
That was going to be my next question. Does Mike McCarthy get fired?
He needs to. He needs to. He should have been fired after last year's playoff debacle.
Yep.
To the second power. Fire his ass. Get him out of there.
He gone.
The Packers held on to him too long. Get him out of here.
His seat is not hot. His seat is on top of the grill. That is currently overcooking his steaks.
On top of the Earth's core. Next to hell.
You are sitting in the sun.
It's hot.
He has occupancy 1 of 1 on the sun.
I get Dennis Allen getting fired after the Saints lose to the Carolina Panthers. I don't think anybody questions that happening. I
didn't see it happening. I didn't think it was going to happen in the middle of the season.
Nice enough to wait until in the morning. He got fired, and I'm not surprised by that. But if you're Jerry Jones, I get that not very many people expected for Atlanta to be as much of a performer this year as they are. I get it, but when you look at the results, not past them, you ass.
Yeah.
If you're the Cowboys right now, you ass. Yeah. And there's no way to get around it. And that's
all the backups in, tank the season. It's over.
Get you some
good teams look past.
Well, the problem,
good
John,
teams don't care about results.
The problem, John, is you already are playing most of the players that the Cowboys have right now would be backups on other teams. I'm sorry, Rico Dowell. Is he going to start on any other team? Who's the second string wide receiver for Dallas? Because all they got is CeeDee Lamb.
Who's the backup quarterback? I know he got number 10.
Cooper Rush.
Oh,
I actually
really?
He's not horrible. He's a career.
He scored a touchdown.
He's no better than Dad Andy.
No.
AKA Andy Dalton.
No, they would actually be in a better position if they had kept Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Well, Andy Dalton just lost his job
if they would have kept Amari Cooper, because Amari Cooper would have taken pressure off of CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
They should never let Amari Cooper go. They should have kept what's the running back they had last year?
Tony Pollard.
Pollard. They should have kept him.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't really know what happened when he became the starter. He didn't do as good, but he still wasn't a bad running back.
Well, the problem was you're paying Dak $50 million a year, so you're going to utilize him in the offense. We're paying him money. He's got to perform, so we got to make it. We're going to build the offense around him.
They became
Dallas's offense. Dallas's offense has always been best when you get a marquee running back, a DeMarco Murray, a young Ezekiel Elliott, a Emmitt Smith, a Julius Jones type of guy.
You
get a running back when you get a running back that is not just I'm just going to play first and second down and then you bring a third down. The thing that the Cowboys have always been precedent on is get a good running back that can take the pressure off of your quarterback, which is why Romo looked good for all those years because you had a competent running game.
Yeah,
Jerry Jones
Troy
thinks
Aikman
that
wouldn't have been as good without
exactly
at all. Not at all.
Jerry, if you ever watch this, Mr. Jones, with all due respect, and I know the power that you have in Texas, you're an oil man. I get it. You can bury me up to my nose in oil. I get it. Please retire. You're out of touch with football. I get that you love your Cowboys, but it's time, sir. Take a deep breath, lay back into your coffin, put on your Dracula outfit, take off the fangs, and just call it a day, Mr.
He
Jones.
does look like he's gonna turn into dust any minute.
Ah, Jesus, man.
Here's the thing. At what point do you how is he not? How has Jerry Jones not accepted he doesn't have the ability to build a team?
Ignorance.
Like
that's about the only thing.
See now.
He is a prime example of pride goeth before the fall.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not going to see the fall because when he passes, because he's not going to hand it over until he passes.
Devin, I think the fall is already happening.
No,
they're free falling as we speak.
He's a prime example of old dogs don't learn new tricks.
But he doesn't
don't want to.
He doesn't want to learn new tricks, and he doesn't see the fall. If he wanted to learn new tricks, Jimmy Johnson would still be affiliated with the Cowboys organization.
Yeah.
And they would have gotten multiple Super Bowls. Multiple. But
they might have been the first team to three-peat.
I don't know, but I think that the
discussion is
possible.
Jimmy Johnson was no joke.
Dude, so let's look, right? Because the reason the Cowboys lost to the 49ers in the 1994 NFC Championship game was because Barry Switzer got in the way of that referee, which gave the 49ers a free first down. The 49ers were able to go in, score a touchdown, and pad the lead. You take Barry Switzer off that sideline and put in Jerry Jones, that play doesn't happen. The defense gets the ball back, and you're talking about a three-peat. Because there's no way in hell that Chargers team was going to beat Dallas.
For me, it's just a case of like if not for Jerry's persistence, that he be the one that everybody endears with the organization and not Jimmy, the Cowboys would have a lot of Super Bowls right now that they don't have.
I agree.
I firmly believe that. It would be a much better run organization. But Jerry Jones,
somebody he can control.
Yep. He wants to be
somebody he can control.
That's why you won't see Bill Belichick take that role.
Hell no.
That's why I think Bill Belichick. It's one of the reasons I think Bill ends up in Philly after Nick Sirianni gets fired.
That's why Mike McCarthy's still there.
Yep. Because Mike McCarthy doesn't have a problem with Jerry actually calling the day-to-day shots.
Yep. That's why Jason Garrett stays so long.
Mike gets free barbecue in Texas. That's why he's still there.
Mike's
you want me to do what? Oh, I get this free barbecue? I don't care. Tell me what to do, man. I don't care.
He's the pet that sits right there so Jerry can keep rubbing his head and say, get on out there, go have some fun, and come on back.
Good job, Mike. Good job. You're doing a good job, Mike.
Mike McCarthy is to Jerry Jones what Meek Mill was to P. Diddy.
Yep. All right, the next game we got was Miami and Buffalo. Buffalo kicked a 61-yard game-winning field goal to beat the Dolphins, 30-27. Seven, your thoughts on that game?
The Dolphins do a really good job of fucking themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There was multiple spots in that game where they could have won that game.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, how does Tyreek Hill only have 4 receptions?
And he had, 2 targets in the entire first half?
Yeah.
You don't give Jalen Waddle any targets?
That's
Devon Achane. I think
he's a beast, man.
He is a beast.
He's a beast.
He only have 12 carries. Like, what are you doing? Like, is this, and that's the thing is that frustrates me with Miami is what is going on with your scheme that you're
Mostert had the other 10 carries in which he still averaged 5.6 yards a carry. So I understand them splitting it, and A-Chain also had 8 catches. So they utilize them. They utilize them.
The scheme that they're running in Miami is not utilizing their players the best. One of the reasons why Andy Reid in Kansas City is so fucking successful is because he uses his players' best attributes in his scheme.
Yeah, that's true.
Mike McDaniels is not doing that. And I
He
can't
looks
remember
like he's gonna call the annexation of Puerto Rico
Mike,
every fucking time I see him.
Mike McDaniels looks like he's just frustrated because his weed plug has not showed up with his vape pen.
No.
Like that.
Yeah.
It's. I want to like Mike McDaniels. He looks like Mr.
I do too, man. I wanna
Like-
appreciate it, but yeah.
Yeah, but I can't. Like, it's just like Dan Marino screams Miami. Like, you look at Dan Marino and you're like, whatever city he's in, there is definitely more cocaine than other cities he's not in. And when you look at Mike McDaniel, you kind of see the same thing. Like, it's just that vibe. Not
I don't
saying he
think-
does a lot of coke. I just happen to feel like he looks like the type of guy where there's just a lot of coke in his vicinity.
I don't see him as a coke guy. Like, I could say weed. He and Snoop Dogg hang out on the weekends when he's not coaching football.
Oh, he definitely like. I'm not saying he does the same. I'm not saying he does the coke. There's just a lot of coke in his vicinity. You know what I mean?
Got it.
He doesn't
That
use
being-
the
Right off
name
a stripper's ass. He's from
But
where?
he's- and
I
that's-
mean,
yeah.
So
Yeah,
Seven, are you
Miami.
saying then? Seven, are you saying then that the Dolphins lost the game and the Bills didn't win it?
Yeah. But I will also do anything I can to not give the Bills credit because fuck Josh Allen.
Dude, I like Josh. Josh is the reason I like Buffalo, man.
No, it's
oh, man.
That
I
that
just like
being
Josh
said, unless there's an absolutely monumental collapse, I think the Bills are the 2 seed. I think they overtake Baltimore and are going to take the 2 seed.
Clearly.
Yep.
Because Baltimore
You
keeps
think they're gonna overtake Baltimore?
Yeah.
I ain't sure.
Baltimore.
Well, see, here's the issue with Baltimore, right? So Baltimore and Buffalo have the
Pittsburgh.
same record at
Oh,
7.
Buffalo.
Or sorry, Baltimore is 6-3 and Buffalo is 7-2. Sure, Baltimore holds the tiebreaker over Buffalo, but Baltimore still has to play Cincinnati on Thursday night. They still have to play the Steelers twice, and they still have to play the Browns.
Stop
Browns
pretending
beat 'em once.
Cincinnati matters.
What's that?
Stop pretending Cincinnati matters as a football
Dude,
team. Until they get an offensive line for Joe Burrow, they're irrelevant. They don't matter.
But that
they can
divisional
still play
games
spoiler.
between the four of them, their
They can still
division
play.
competition is on
They
that.
can first off, they can still play spoiler to Baltimore. They played Baltimore really tough and technically should have won that game against Baltimore earlier in the season.
That's all I'm
That being
saying.
said, I'm not saying Cincinnati is a playoff team, but Cincinnati beats Baltimore on Thursday. Baltimore is in deep trouble because they're going to be the 3rd or the 4th seed.
I think Baltimore's the 3 seed. Honestly, I
can agree with that.
Yep, I can agree with that because I think Houston takes the 4.
The reason why Baltimore is the 3 seed is because it's so easy to get them out of what they do well.
But so if Houston wins their division, though, they'll have a higher seed than Baltimore, even if they don't win the division.
The 4 division winners will take spots 1, 2, 3, 4 based on their actual record. If their records are tied, then they go to head-to-head. And then if they don't play each other and don't have a head-to-head to go to, they do record based off of common opponents. So
Right.
But because Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City, and Buffalo all played each other, they're going to have similar people that they played, and they're going to have head-to-heads. Because all 4 teams are playing well enough that they'll repeat as division champions.
My issue with Baltimore is the fact that they are so willing to pivot from their ability to be a ground team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why it works every time. It works.
It does. And when they stay in it consistently, they win games.
Yeah. The problem is they don't have they remind me of a less fluid Kansas City team. So Kansas City is a running back team by committee. So in a healthy world, they have Hunt, Kareem, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Pacheco. We'll just say those 3. P. Ryan, I'm sure, will still be there, and then Steele. So between those 5. So the thing that Kansas City does well is they're fluid. Buffalo does not have fluidity with their running backs. So they have James Cook, and then they have the new guy, Ray Davis. If neither one of those 2 guys can get the ball running, it strictly becomes a passing game. And Josh does not do a good job in incorporating his passing game with his running backs.
Is Pacheco anywhere close to coming back?
Pacheco got announced that he is in rehab at this point.
Okay.
He's actually ahead of schedule, and they're hoping for a late November return.
Late November, early December. And Hollywood Brown. They said if that Hollywood Brown should be back in the postseason. So Kansas City is going to have all of their pieces at exactly the right time.
Rasheed Rice would be
they're
the only
still
one that
gonna
I would
get
question
into
at this point.
Yeah.
They're still going to get into the playoffs regardless.
Yep.
Yeah. The and then we just quick some other ones. Raiders lost to the Bengals 41-24.
That was good ass kicking.
That was a solid ass kick, and Joe Burrow needed that with everything that they've been dealing with.
Yeah.
They
5
still need to get
touchdowns,
him
and
around.
it's the first home win for Cincinnati this year, which is humongous because that will get a big thing off their back.
Yeah, they'll feel a lot better about that.
Chargers beat the Browns 27-10. I don't think anybody was expecting anything different there.
Nope. The fucking Cowboys lost. They suck.
Yeah. That's the part that I find funny. Commanders beat the Giants. Nobody's surprised there. Jalen Daniels,
Rookie of the year. Possible
15,
MVP.
22, 209 yards.
Possible MVP in my book.
I could see the argument. Honestly, right
but
now.
I'd give it to Derrick Henry. So.
You got to give it to Derrick Henry right now. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's the quarterback's league, so you know how the fuck they do. But
30,
I get sick of that shit, man.
30 seconds left. First and goal at the Kansas City 1. Kansas City's up 24-17, but Tampa has ball with 30 seconds left. However, they did just call their final timeout.
They're going to have 30 seconds to score. You're going to get 3 plays out tops.
2, depending on what plays you run. Keep it in bounds. I don't think you might be able to get 3 off with as close as you are. I think the way Tampa's playing it is they'll do 3 pass plays to try and get it in.
Yeah, they're going to try and get.
I think you got to keep the ball off the ground.
Yeah, so maybe you can try to get a 4th one because you have to score.
Mm-hmm. Tennessee beat New England 20-17 in overtime.
About fucking time.
I'm impressed with May. I think you get an offensive line in New England. May's your quarterback of the future.
No.
Way to go, Mason Rudolph.
I forgot Mason Rudolph was still in the game or was still like in the NFL.
He played it.
And after watching him play, I understand why. I forgot that because he's a pretty unforgettable player. Or he's a pretty forgettable player. Yeah. It's no disrespect to somebody who makes it to the NFL with their talent. Well, in their talent, there has to be something there. But like comparing him against his peers,
he did something Will Levis couldn't do.
Exactly, did something Anthony Richardson couldn't do. I don't know if maybe Anthony Richardson was too tired to make that meeting.
Get me out of here.
It's
Baker Mayfield hit a pass to Miller for 1-yard touchdown. Kicker coming on the field now.
God damn. Fucking overtime.
Not necessarily. Kansas City still has all 3 of their timeouts, and the way Mahomes has been slinging the ball in the second half. However, Mahomes, this puts Mahomes in prime possibility to throw an interception, which means I'm shaving my head. Shit.
Kick is good. 24-24 with 27 seconds left.
Yep.
Damn it, man. Overtime.
But you were saying about May. Why don't you think May's the future?
I didn't see. When I look at him, I don't know. Maybe it's just he needs more time to develop. But right now, I haven't seen enough because, like, a lot of times with rookies that you can look at as a guy to the future, there's going to be some stuff that you can see. There's going to be some intangibles that give you evidence of that there should be an interest of investment. And when I look at Drake May, I don't think he's a bad quarterback. But I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a serviceable, maybe middle of the road. Yeah, maybe he ends up as a career backup or a journeyman. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, Carson Wentz ain't never get picked back up, did he?
No.
Kansas City backup.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's Kansas City's backup.
Is he really?
Yeah, he backs him up.
Oh, okay. I didn't know anybody picked him up.
Yeah, Andy Reid likes him.
Yeah.
Of course. Of
We
course,
briefly
he
talked
drafted
about the Ravens beating the Broncos 41-10. That's an ass
Hold
whooping I'm
on.
okay with because it's the Broncos losing.
I'm okay with the Broncos losing,
Yep.
but I watched this game and I wanted to watch it because I wanted to actually get time to watch Bo Nix play.
Yeah.
He needs better quarterback. He needs a better quarterbacks coach.
Yep. Peyton is not the
decision
answer.
making. Like Peyton, if he spent an off-season work with Peyton, he would come back next season and actually give them the ability to put pressure on Kansas City.
Yep.
He's got I like his mobility. I like his arm when he's accurate. His accuracy is an issue to me.
Mhm.
But like he
Well,
started
I felt like that in college. So.
Yeah. But he started that game really well. And so like I wasn't surprised that they lost. And they were just and the Broncos as a team was dog shit in the second half because that was an entire second half game.
Yep.
And the Broncos
17-0 outscored because it was what 24. It was 24-10 at the half. So Denver was still in it, but they were outclassed in that entire second half.
Denver's defense didn't come to play. That's honestly what it was. Is that was more about the Denver's defensive failures than anything else.
And I think
afraid of the runaway freight train.
Yep.
And
AKA Derrick Henry.
Yep. And I think that's a measuring stick. I think that's the reason I don't believe Denver will make the playoffs this year. They're doing a really good job beating down the low-level teams. But if you can't keep up with teams like Baltimore, with Houston, with they haven't played Cleveland or Cincinnati yet this year. But I mean, they're 5-4 now. That's great. But I mean, like again, this was a benchmark game for them. So them not being able to put points on the board, I think really hurts them.
So with Denver, the next 3 weeks, they play Kansas. Because Kansas City and Denver play next week, and then they've got the Falcons and the Raiders.
Yeah.
If you can't get you need to beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
Like that's imperative.
I would say that is a win for them. But do you see Denver beating Atlanta? I don't see them beating Kansas City. Then again, it is a divisional game.
I don't see them beating Atlanta. Atlanta's playing pretty
good. It depends on which
so.
version of Atlanta comes to play.
That's exactly
because Atlanta did get beat by Seattle, and Seattle played like shit this week.
Yeah, they did, but Seattle also started out pretty good. So
they did, and I still don't believe that Geno Smith gets the credit that he deserves.
That's true.
He is an above average quarterback. I put him above being a serviceable quarterback. He is above average.
I would have took him over Sam Darnold
for sure. As with what we used to know about him, yeah, I would have taken him over Sam Darnold. Obviously, Sam Darnold isn't doing bad now.
He scared me yesterday. With God Almighty, man. Them damn 3 turnover. Bro.
The other 3 late games, we touched on it briefly. The Rams beat the Seahawks 26-20 in overtime. The Lions put a shellacking on the Packers 24-14 at Lambeau. Then the Bears lost to the Cardinals
next time.
Yep, the Cardinals beat the Bears 29-9. I still think the Cardinals are winning because they're holding out Kyler Murray's copy of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 until further notice. I'm really surprised with the Cardinals. I think barring because San Francisco still got to get their offensive playmakers back.
Here's the Cardinals. The Cardinals are a team that we're going to look back at this point at the end of the season, and we are going to be unsure of why we thought the Cardinals were so good. Because these are the teams that the Cardinals have lost to: the Bills, the Lions,
which are a good team,
the Commanders, and the Packers, which are all above average teams.
Yeah.
Here are the teams that the Cardinals have lost to. The teams that they've beaten: the Rams,
right,
who we all know aren't performing the way what people thought they were going to. The 49ers, who have more players than they have on the starting roster.
Yeah.
The Chargers, who are dealing with a new coach and a new scheme and aren't going to be ready to be a competitor until next year. The Dolphins, Tua is still working on his ability to throw to the same receiver, to throw to 3 receivers that are actually one guy. And then we're looking at the Bears, who still don't have any answers for the need to protect Caleb Williams. The dude is not going to produce on offense if you don't get him a fucking offensive line.
They made him drop back 41 times yesterday.
That's not how
That's
you get success out
insane.
of. That's
And
exactly
with a
That's
running back
insane.
with a running back like DeAndre Swift, you should be giving him the ball. He should be touching the ball at least 20 times a game.
He touched it 16
At
times
least.
yesterday.
And it's
Quarterback
16 of them
25
should be
times.
carries. 16 should be carries.
with the rookie quarterback. He should not be carrying the ball less than 20 times. 25.
Agreed.
I think I would shoot for 25, but he should not.
Well, I guess the rate they were losing to, I'm looking at it, from that standpoint, they had to throw the football because they got down bad.
So, I mean, they did kick 3 field goals, so they didn't have the red zone efficiency that you would want them to have. But
Yeah,
at halftime, you're only down by 12. You still have the ability to run
Oh,
the
well,
football.
yeah. Okay. By the time I saw the score, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
No. Because, they moved the ball. They just couldn't finish drives. And that, again, is a reflection of if you don't protect Caleb Williams and you don't hand off the football, you're forcing the rookie quarterback who you're told, hey, don't make mistakes with the football. So now he's throwing incompletions when, granted, he's not taking sacks, but you're not putting yourself in a position to win the football game.
Right. That's true.
And that's the hard part with that is the what I'm shocked about with the Bears is the fact that you can actually see that there is some potential on that team now.
Mhm.
We haven't actually said that about the Bears in what, 5+ years.
Yeah.
Something
I would say
like that,
last
yeah.
time they had any
So-
type of expectations was when they had the double doink against Philadelphia in the playoffs. That was 2017.
Cody Parkey.
So, yeah.
And that's where I feel bad for Caleb Williams in that sense, because you can see that there's talent there, and these guys are actually trying to rally around this kid that got thrust into a really shitty situation.
Absolutely.
But now you have coaches that are still failing him because they're not putting the pieces around him to give him the ability to actually do his job. And it's not his fault. I can't make fun of the kid when his leadership isn't doing their job. Like, that pisses me off.
That's the main problem. They put some young talent around him, but
you put
Swift
any
is
other
a solid running back.
You put any other quarterback with those 3 receivers, with Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and DJ Moore, you're going to have a 4,000-yard quarterback.
Nope.
But if you don't have an offensive line, nobody's going to be able to make.
You're not going to get them 4,000
It's
yards. I don't
the
care who
same
you are.
It's the same problem that he has with Joe Burrow. If you don't give that man time to throw the damn ball, you're not going to get any offense out of him.
Quick interruption. Kansas City got the ball to start overtime. 1st and 10. Patrick Mahomes hit Kareem Hunt for 11 yards. Remember, overtime rules state that the first team to score a touchdown automatically wins, unless the team who gets the ball first commits a turnover or kicks a field goal, in which case the other team has a chance to score. So Kansas City scores a touchdown, it's over. And then the other game we have really left to discuss is John's game, which was Indianapolis and Minnesota.
What were your thoughts on that game?
I was pissed about the no call because and the no call pissed me off even more because how the fuck do you throw the flag and don't even go to review the play?
And then you pick up the flag.
Then they just huddled up, talked about it, no flag, and I'm like, they out to get us already. They saw how good we were, and they out to get us.
And that's the second week in a row. Week in a row.
I was watching the Ohio State game because that's the only college game I got to watch this weekend, of course. And you know what the refs do? They review shit.
Yeah.
They review anything that is suspect on the field. They review it, whether they threw a flag or not.
Yeah.
And then I get to the pro, and this shit happens again. Like, he took a full blown. And who was it? Grover? That's a big boy. Like, he probably one of the biggest defensive tackles in the league.
Oh, for sure.
So my issue with the NFL, and I guess it's it's the officiating in any sports, that if you sit there and officiate every play with a fine-tooth comb, you're not going to get the game's going to slow down to a crawl and nothing's ever going to get finished. But at the same time, if the angle that we see it, we know that there's a call. And more importantly, if the announcement team is stating, hey, that should have been a call, that right there tells you, hey, we need to stop and take a look at it. I get that they have
Very
an ear in New York that can be like, hey, let's do a quick review with this. And they're doing it more often now with after a speed review. We've determined that so-and-so didn't happen or so-and-so didn't break the play and make it second down. So you can have somebody in New York look at those plays. And if there is something questionable, be like, hey, we're going to take a quick look at this. Obviously. And for that to happen twice in 2 weeks with the Minnesota Vikings, I got to say for you Viking fans, especially that game against the Rams, because that screwed you guys
I
over.
was so pissed, man.
And
you don't take a dog out of a fight before the fight begins.
Exactly. And the fact that Al Michael and Kirk Herbstreit are, dude, that's a flag. That is a blatant flag. And you just have the referee sitting there. Safety.
Yeah. And if you watch the replay, the ref moves like, ooh.
He's staring at
that was crazy. And don't throw the fucking flag, man. Man, yo, you don't know how hot I was sitting over here watching this goddamn game. Because I don't understand.
That grab to his face was so aggressive. Deshaun Watson was like, "Hey, that's not cool."
I will say it was really nice for Minnesota to get back into that game.
I mean, we needed it. It's because I watch. Every time I don't watch, it is never anything for me to worry about.
I watched that first half and turned on my Switch and started playing F-099 with the family because I was that bored with the game. The game turned me off that bad.
I am a loyal watcher, but I was like, you know what? They're going to win once I go to sleep. And that's exactly what happened when I woke up at 3:30 in the morning.
Patrick Mahomes passed to Travis Kelce for 15 yards. They have it 1st and 10 at the Tampa Bay 11. 6:15 to go in the overtime period.
The pass before that was a 15-yarder to D Hop. They're just dinking and dunking down the field now. Like this is Kansas City.
That's the best thing to do.
Don't say that because now Patrick is going to throw an interception and I have to shave my head. Shut up until they
keep
score.
Saying that.
Shut up until they score. Shut up until they score.
It's I'm glad that the Vikings are doing well. I like the fan base. I'm like, I've never met a Vikings fan where I was like, oh, this guy's an idiot. Like, I like the fans.
We have no reason to be assholes.
Except 1998. You guys are still bitter about 1998.
Absolutely. Fucking field goal.
Fucking Gary fucking I am appalled to be in Anderson and talk about Minnesota with Gary Anderson missing that kick. I thought about changing my last name, just so you know.
I like the organization though. I like the fan base. You know, I like kind of when they were
talking.
I don't like the ownership sometimes, but I didn't like how they did it.
Cool.
But
it's that's the thing is sometimes ownership just sucks.
It does.
I say that as
and they're doing a really good job now. We got the coaching staff. I love Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
Brian Flores is a hell of a
Flores. That's his name. Yeah, it was coming to me.
Kevin O'Connell,
he has to get better at stopping the passes down the field.
Yeah.
He does.
Well, it's the way that
because even though you're disguising that defense, if you're going to disguise it, especially when you're playing somebody like Jared Goff, bro, you don't need to rush him all the time. Get them, blitz them, send them 4 defensive linemen in there, and drop everybody else in the zone or man coverage.
100%.
You have to, because I've seen it. I was like, I have a great ability to discover. Oh no, I'm on St. Brown finna go right down the field on this guy. He's man to man, and he's playing. He's back deep like a safety. No, he gonna run right by him.
I love
it. I see it before it happens, and I'm just like, nah.
3rd and 1. Patrick Mahomes hit Kelce again for a 4-yard catch. It is 3rd and 1 at the Tampa Bay 2.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, can we just talk about how impressive that kid is for a second before he closes?
He's great, man. He's great.
I wish his brother would get the same recognition, but Amon-Ra and what's his brother's name? Emmanuel Squaw. It's like, nah. Amon-Ra has a much cooler name.
Yeah, it's in just
where's his brother now? Is he still with
I don't
the
think
Bears?
his brother signed with the team at the moment.
No.
Oh, okay. He was with the Bears, I know, but
yeah.
It's
Kansas City won. They just scored a touchdown.
There it is.
Kareem Hunt off the right side for 2 yards. Touchdown. Game's over.
He couldn't
get 104 yards.
He couldn't get a touchdown in the first half when I wanted to hit my fucking parlay. Dick.
I got to keep my hair.
No,
now we can say it. Now we can say it. I got to keep my hair.
He scores a touchdown in the first half, and then also Baker has 4 rushing attempts, and what was the other one? Oh, Xavier Worthy gets at least 1 rushing yard. Fucking Xavier Worthy goes back 10 yards on a rushing play in the first half. So I know that makes fucked.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt doesn't know what the end zone is until it's inconvenient for me. That's why I don't bet Chiefs games. Like, you ladies and gentlemen, like if you're gonna do sport,
don't bet on your own team, man. Don't do it, bro.
What really impresses me with that overtime drive, if you take a look at Kansas City's touchdown drives for the day, they went 11 plays, 70 yards, touchdown. Touchdown, 12 plays, 70 yards, touchdown, 15 plays, 78 yards. Every single touchdown drive that the Chiefs had today was over 10 plays.
Dinking and dunking. And that's what you want right now. I don't want quick shots.
That's
I don't
all
want
you need.
Special.
No. And see, I think what makes Kansas City so successful this year is Andy Reid is that type of coach who is not consistent and being like, this is how I'm going to call the plays. That dude is ahead of his time. He knows, hey, they're going to be expecting the deep ball, so let's dink and dunk. Let's dink and dunk. Hey, they're playing 8 men in the box. Fucking go deep. Yep. Like that pass to Hopkins that got them inside the red zone into triple coverage.
The way that Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo run the Chiefs will be chronicled in documentaries about football for decades after this fucking historic dynasty. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have a generational talent at quarterback in Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
And the best thing about the team this year is what is quite possibly one of the best defenses the NFL has ever seen.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it's the best. We're going to be talking about, you can argue the 85 Bears and all of that. I'm not trying to say it's the best.
Yeah.
One of the best. They have held every top rusher that they have faced to under 100 yards.
Yep. Hell, they kept Baker at 200 yards today. Baker came into the game averaging 275 yards a game, and they kept him under 200.
No, I mean, Baker didn't have a bad game, but y'all kept him
right
at 200 yards.
And
he didn't have a bad game by any means.
Yeah.
It's Kansas City's defense was like right there with Bob Sutton. Like there were some good pieces about that defense. Mm-hmm. I wasn't a huge Bob Sutton fan.
No, me neither.
He was trying. And then Spagnuolo came in and took all those pieces and took with the defense what Andy Reid does in scheming as a whole and just started using players for what they do well.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And it used to be that the Chiefs took time to get that defense to meld and jed. So they'd be 6-3, 7-2, 5-4. But you saw that defense come together. And now that he's had that hook in the defense for as long, it's like that defense comes together week 1.
That's the offense that takes time to get going.
Well, now it is.
Yeah. Now it is. And I love that. That's the thing, because there's going to be all these people like, so let's say, knock on wood, let's say that Kansas City has a historic run. This is an undefeated season. They win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's going to be people like, oh no, the 72 Dolphins could beat them. No, they couldn't. Shut the fuck up. Right now, the 72 Dolphins couldn't beat the Kansas City Chiefs. The 72 Dolphins in their prime could not beat today's Kansas City Chiefs. Couldn't do it.
No. The 72 Dolphins would not have beaten the 85 Bears.
You hear me? You put a 72 Dolphins team mentality into today's game. Man, shit.
Take away the protections for quarterbacks and wide receivers. Take them away.
I don't know that, but
because the sheer size of players. Think about the offensive and defensive lines alone. That is easily 50 to 100 pounds per player bigger than what they had in the 70s.
You're not wrong.
The 72 Dolphins defensive line isn't getting past Creed Humphrey. Creed Humphrey could probably hold 3 of those guys and eat a fucking donut.
I would argue that the 85 Bears would beat the 72 Dolphins. And I don't even think the 85 Bears defense is, but I think the best defense that there ever was that 2000 Ravens defense.
Absolutely.
That
best defense you ever saw.
And that is the defense that would give Kansas City pressure. Any of these other older historic defenses,
that defense shuts down everyone. ever played.
So there was an interview with Troy Aikman, where the Cowboys played the Ravens that year, and that was the game I think that he got his second to last concussion before he retired. And the way that he described it is that the Ravens didn't take out your starting quarterback. Whether you won or lost, that was a win in your book because they forced quarterbacks out of that game because of the constant pressure that the Ravens put on them. And that defense reminds me a lot of the Chiefs this year. They didn't produce a whole hell of a lot of offense, but if you're only putting up 17, 20, 21 points, that's all you got to do is 3 scoring drives with touchdowns, and that's it. You're in it. So
Kansas City hasn't allowed a 300-yard game by a quarterback since they beat the Eagles. Since they beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
games.
Fucking stacked that defense is. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
And this is why I get frustrated. And I also really quick, I want to say this. I saw Jason Kelsey apologize on the NFL, the ESPN NFL pregame.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to apologize. I don't feel bad for the guy whose phone got broke.
Nope.
Like, you're lucky it wasn't your face that got smashed on the ground there.
You know what, Seven? You and my sister would be in the same boat. My sister told me the exact same thing. Had somebody made a comment like that about me to her, or if somebody would have made a comment like that of my brother to her, she wouldn't have hesitated to smack that dude right in the face.
Like,
so
it's I understand what Kelsey's saying about not greeting hate with hate.
Yeah. Nope.
But as somebody who got bullied a lot, if I would have had the self-confidence to punch a couple of those guys in the throat, I wouldn't have had near as many problems. Because
when this again comes back to
consequences for your actions, you stop doing those actions.
Yep. And this comes back to the conversation that we had a few weeks ago when the Texas fans do the garbage on the field at the Georgia Stadium. Fans now just feel like they're entitled to say whatever they want. People in general feel like they're entitled to say whatever they want without the fear of consequences. And I think first off, as a fan of the game, it devalues the product of the field. Yep. Because now you got to worry about, as a fan, am I going to get bullied? Am I going to get heckled? There's just no room for it, man. There's no room for the hate in the game. People come together for shit to have fun. Like, I'm not racist in any way, shape, or form, but if we had a racist on the show, John wouldn't show up and we wouldn't get John's point of view. So the hate.
Not show up because I'm with the smoke.
Yeah, no.
He's like, I want all the smoke.
Fire with fire. I totally get it, man. But I mean, there's no room for it, man. Right? We got bigger problems in the world to worry about. Keep your opinions to yourself. And just, and I work at a sports shop and I wear a lot of Kansas City gear when I go to work, and I get a lot of Raider fans coming in. Oh man, you're a Chiefs fan? What I always say is, hey man, there's worse teams that you could be a fan of, right? At least you're a fan of football because now you and I got something you and I got plenty that we can talk about, right? And every Raider fan looks at me and goes, you know what? You're right. I respect that about you, right? Cool. You know what? That's cool. I'm going to hate players on your team. You're going to hate the whole franchise that I got going on. But at the end of the day, if you and I go to Vegas at a tailgate, or we go to Arrowhead for a tailgate, I'm going to get the brats. You're going to get the beer. We're going to have some fun, man. Let's just go and have fun. But if you have that hate for it, if you have hate in the game, or you have hate for the fan base that you're going against, or, oh no, he's dating a celebrity that I don't, get the fuck out of here with that, man.
What do you think, John?
Yeah, he should have smashed more on his phone.
Like smoke with smoke.
Like you said, man, if you got hate, Andor ain't quite said this way, but if you got hate in your heart in any fashion, you're gonna do something stupid. You're not gonna survive properly.
The world is a much better place with love than hate.
It's
straight up.
I say it like this when I do mental health stuff. Hate is a very heavy emotion. And
too much to carry around.
It is too much to carry around. Like I have ADHD, bipolar 1, and complex PTSD. I carry around enough weight around remembering.
Not to mention BDS.
Yeah, that too.
You know what BDS is, right?
Big dick syndrome. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. Making sure. I didn't know if you were up in your medical term.
I thought he said PDS.
Oh no,
I
B.
was
B
like,
is in
no, I
Bravo. D is
don't.
in Delta. S is in Sierra.
Okay, gotcha.
Seven got it
All
right. Big dick syndrome is right.
Okay. That ain't none of my business.
Especially with the trauma portion of what I've went through. I have a lot of reason to carry hate in my heart. I've been through a lot of shit. Hate is a weight you don't need to carry because it slows you down. It makes your heart heavy, makes your head heavy. It clouds your decisions. And that's why I respect Jason for apologizing, because he knows that it wasn't right to meet this guy on his level, even though he also knows that that guy deserved to get his face punched through his skull. We got to be better as people. Can't just be harassing celebrities to try and get a rise out of him, because that's all this kid was doing. He knew
I don't understand people who do shit like that. Like,
are you just trying to get a job?
What's the point? Like, you got your and the biggest haters of all time are attention seekers.
Yep,
straight up.
That guy doesn't have a reason to hate on Taylor Swift. Clearly, you know, if
he wanted the attention. That was an attention grab.
If he's just now at Penn State, he's not gonna. He's not ever been on Taylor Swift's radar. She has no idea who he is, that he exists.
Nope.
Does Taylor Swift even know where Penn State is?
Yeah, she's from Philly. She's from the Philly area.
Okay. I was going to make a joke that she thought Penn State was a penitentiary.
Until she got with Travis, she was a Philly. She was a Eagles fan.
Yeah.
She's a yeah, I'm pretty sure she's from that area. I know she spent a lot of time in Nashville, but I'm pretty sure like her dad's from that area, or her she lived in that area because she was an Eagles fan for a long time before she got with Jason. And that I don't get it. Like, why have that much hate in your heart over a celebrity? Like, yeah, I think it's funny that Aaron Judge comes up shorter in the postseason than an Asian guy in a freezer, but that doesn't mean I hate him. Yeah, he plays for the Yankees. I'm a Red Sox fan. I can't stand the Yankees.
Yeah.
But
that doesn't mean you're going to go to Aaron Judge's wife and
I'm not going to.
Right.
I'm not going to follow Aaron Judge down the road and be like, "Hey man, is your wife the MVP of drunk driving because of the extreme DUI she got in Arizona in 2020?" I'm not going to do that. That's a dick.
And if you do run up on Aaron Judge, you better have a gun.
Yeah,
he's not a little dude.
He's like 6'8". He would beat the. He'd just pick me up like I was a bottle of beer and just throw me.
Like, you see, he towers over people on a television.
Exactly.
That's how you know he's a big guy.
He's built like a tight end, and he plays center field for the New York Yankees.
I'm gonna say it like this: like, I'm the last dude to get I'm probably one of if you get 10 dudes lined up, I'm probably the fifth dude in line to be like, man, I'm gonna if Max Crosby was there, I'd be like, man, I'm gonna tell Max Crosby how much of a shithead he is. I'm gonna be the first guy. If Max Crosby shows up, be like, oh hey, Mr. Crosby, how's it going? Can I get my jersey autographed? Fuck no, it's the Chiefs. You fucking asshole won't sign my autograph. But I mean, that's about as far as it would go. But
yeah,
again, I'm not going to take family into it, right? The family doesn't deserve it. At the end of the day, the dude's still a human being. So just
straight up.
If you guys are watching our stream and you believe that there is room for you to be belligerently rude or disrespectful to people, just don't. Take the high road.
Take this as somebody that's performed.
Just go to fuck home.
Yeah.
Go home. Go home. Go home. Go home.
Sort out your life. Be with Jesus Christ.
Go home.
John and I have both been in live performance atmospheres. Me doing comedy and working concerts, and John playing drums.
I've done karaoke before.
The cost of your ticket does not also include the ability to be a shitty human being to the people that you're paying to see perform. That's not it at all.
It is not included in your price and fees.
You don't get to go to a comedy show and heckle the comedian just because you paid for a ticket. No, you get to go watch a comedy show. If you want to be a dick, go stand outside and shout at the crowd.
And a lot of the things that I run into, might have been 3 weeks ago, I played at a gospel concert where a bunch of different people came, bunch of different drummers, bunch of different choirs. That was the first time that I experienced not a bit of egos. And everybody that gets done, or the next guy that came back up after me, he was just like, man, I like that. I like the style, blah, blah, blah. kept going. But
So it was a
it's
lot
been
of
so
like
many times I've been in places where people egos and it's just like I'm very much an empath, so you can feel what's going on in the room when I can feel
that,
what's going on in the room when I walked
that
into it,
that's the hardest part
and it
about
wasn't like that. So
that's the hardest part about music, man. Is you get egos going, bro.
and it's just like, man,
Oh,
bro, like get going somewhere with that shit, man. Like I like to watch other people play drums, so I learn from them. Like they may learn from me. I don't know. I don't think I'm that good, but people think I'm that good. So it's fine. Like,
I
but
I wa-
that's what I run into.
one
So
of my favorite drummers. His name is Lester Estelle Jr. Do you know who he is?
his name sounds familiar.
He's currently the drummer for Kelly Clarkson. He used to play
Okay.
for a Christian rock band called Pillar. That's where I discovered him because I'm a huge Pillar fan. I love alt rock,
Okay.
metal, and stuff like that. So it's right up my alley. And he's one of the few, like I follow some drummers on like different social medias, just kind of depending. But he is the only drummer that I have where his notifications are turned on because anytime he is playing a live show, he goes live from his phone. I don't give a and really what you hear is mainly his drums. I really don't care what music he's playing. I don't care if he's playing Kelly Clarkson. I don't care if he's playing Pillar, whatever other group he's helping out, or if he's just in a studio. I just want to watch him work because when I get back behind a kid again, I want to have ideas for shit that I can try.
That's it.
All right, man, we've been going for about an hour, 45 minutes. John, I know you probably got to work in the morning.
I do.
So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. John, I'll let you start off first. What you got going on this week, brother?
Man, I ain't got too much going on, man. I done got my voting out the way.
Yes, get out and fucking
Kids
vote.
are out of school tomorrow, so I got an easy day. Outside of that, I need to get back. I need to find me a very small tripod because I've been trying to record myself. My phone keeps falling the fuck over. So
Walmart has them for $10.
I've been slacking. Yeah, I know. I've been lazy about doing it, and that's my fault. So yeah, I've been slacking off.
Ando, what you got, man?
Not jack shit. I got to go out and vote tomorrow, so that I can say my voice makes a difference. Other than that,
if you don't vote.
Exactly.
Vote,
right? You have no reason to complain if you don't go out there and vote, right? So, it's a cool. First off, if you're 18 and older, it's one of the few things you can do as an 18-year-old. Yeah, go out there and vote. But otherwise, I ain't got shit going on. Yeah, Sports Reports podcast. I may be on the Geek Gauntlet on Saturday. But yeah, this is kind of bread and butter for me, man. What do you got going on, Seven?
Well, a lot of work this week and hosting karaoke on Friday night. I
wish I could be there.
Man, you got to come down sometime. It's like a local version of a Buffalo Wild Wings, but on a Friday or a Saturday night, there's 100 people in there that want to do karaoke.
Oh yeah.
And that's really cool to get to watch because it's a great environment. The bartenders are really good at what they do. And if I say,
are they good looking?
Yeah. He's a pretty good looking guy. He's a Raiders.
Okay. Cool. All right.
He's a good looking guy.
Okay.
So he's used to being left on red. Got it.
There's the female bartender that's there. She's pretty cute too. She's really funny and like she scares the hell out of me. So like she'll just look at me and I'm like, what did I do? Because I'm afraid.
No, it's just the look that your wife told her to give you when you get out of line.
I'm pretty sure they talk and she just tells her what.
Yep.
Yeah, that's. I believe it. Will, man, if you happen to come back and watch the show, I hope you get to feeling better. Don't worry.
Yeah, man.
There's always next season for the Saints. I'll send you a Chiefs shirt. You can be a bandwagon fan. I won't judge.
Don't worry about the results, man.
You just look beyond the results. Look beyond the results. It's the Dennis Allen School of Motivation. Look beyond,
which is officially closed for business.
On how to get fired.
No, it's not closed. It's just now an online through Coursive.
DeVry University.
It's through Coursive. You've got to, you have to pay like $1.99 a month for it, and Dennis Allen will teach you how to look beyond the results.
Yep.
With a special appearance by Mickey Loomis. All right, boys. I'm gonna bounce. You guys have a good night.
Have a good night, Ando.
You too, man.
John, for Ando.
Appreciate you.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week on the Sports Report Podcast.
Yes, sir.